Hello, my name is Madeline Reyna, and I'm here to speak about the role of a speech language specialist in the school system. In general, what a speech language specialist or a speech language pathologist does is diagnose and treat different language, speech, and swallowing disorders. But in the school system, a speech language specialist, my new role, a speech language specialist is there to, we're a part of the special education team in the public schools, and we take part in intervention and in the evaluation process of diagnosing and treating different speech and language disorders. We work with children who get related services through their IEP. So a speech language specialist, we get referrals, we begin a screening. If further evaluation is needed, we go forward to do formal assessments. After our formal assessments, we write our report. We also determine eligibility to see if a child qualifies for services, and we base that off of our state laws, based on the New Jersey special education laws and eligibility criteria. And for voice, fluency, speech, language, there's different eligibility criterias. So once we have our evaluation report, we sit down in a meeting with parents and our IEP team to discuss the findings. If the child is eligible to receive services, we sit down with the parent, we discuss the results of the assessments, we explain the assessments, what we did, what we looked for, and then we proceed in discussing frequency, duration, how long, and location of how the services will be provided. If it'll be once a week, 60 minutes, twice a week for 30-minute sessions, etc. A speech language specialist is also there to support teachers in fostering their learning environment for children to enhance those language and speech skills. In the public school system or in a school system, a speech language specialist can have their own space to treat students, or we can do group therapy in the classroom or pull the child aside in a pull-in system and give therapy in the classroom. We can have a pull-out system, and all of these different things. Our goal as speech language specialists is to help improve how well a child is learning and performing in the classroom. So that's why it's very important to have a very close and strong relationship with the child's classroom teacher, to work in unison with the child's teacher, to see how us as the speech language specialist, how we can best help them. And to do this, we focus on the child's ability to understand and use language. So we may work with classroom resources, such as books that the child is reading as part of therapy, or something they're working on in science, or something they're working on in social studies, something they're working on in math, maybe vocabulary they're using in math and in language arts. Or we can choose other materials within our therapy. We can work with children in the school system, giving one-on-one therapy, or, like I said before, giving small group therapy. And we can also coordinate with a special education teacher to support an individual child. And we may also come into the classroom to work with kids in a reading or language center, or to co-teach a lesson with a classroom teacher. And also in the school system, what a speech language specialist does is we determine eligibility But first, before that, we have to screen, we have to do an evaluation with formal assessments or informal assessments. We can also do classroom observations as well. From there, we determine our IEP goals and objectives. We determine, okay, what are we going to work on and for how long. We also, it's very important for speech language specialists to understand the importance and the relationship between language and literacy in the school system, because one affects the other. If the child doesn't have a strong language foundation, they will most likely not have a strong literacy foundation. And if they have a language impairment, they will most likely have an impairment in literacy, in reading and writing. As a speech language specialist, it is very important, also as my new role, to know the law, to know what is out there for, through the New Jersey State Special Education Administrative Code, and to also know what's out there in the parental rights in special education. And it's important to know because as speech language specialists, we're also there to mentor and counsel parents in the process of treating their children and guiding them as well and educating them as well. And now with this pandemic, my new role as a speech language specialist would most likely consist of asynchronous and synchronous learning for now, and that would consist of using either Google Meets to meet with my clients or Microsoft Teams or any virtual meeting format. And I could also use Boom cards online to give therapy to my clients. Can use YouTube videos. I can create PowerPoints and create Google Slides as well, and incorporate my Bitmoji as well into my slides. So overall, that's my new role as a speech language specialist. I love what I do. I love that I can help other children and help others and help families, and I hope to continue making a difference in the lives of so many. Thank you.